Hello, World Wide Web. Hello, YouTube fans. Hello, nurse. This is Locke back at you again with a little bit more advice, and this time I am going to talk about our local news and news coverage and what I feel the definition of the word news is, because I feel that these agencies are letting us down grievously and letting their communities down grievously. And they are so ambivalent about it to the point where it's embarrassing. News that is being reported, I would submit to all of you, is not news. I'm going to say some things here that are very, very controversial and are going to hit some nerves of a lot of people, but I've thought all this through and I've put this into perspective. It's taken me a long time to think about this before I decided to say it and before I decided to start lambasting our local newscast. But I'm sorry, murder is not news, okay? None of us are getting out of here alive. All of us are going to be dying of one thing or another. Death is a tragedy. When someone's child is killed, it is a tragedy. When someone is kidnapped, raped, murdered, these things are tragedies. But our local news services are using these things to take the public's eye off of the ball. So now when someone is murdered, it becomes big news. And now this is becoming what I consider to be a very big problem, because what this is doing is sending a message to our younger generation that if you want attention, if you want to get anything done, if you want to get something heard, kill somebody. If you kill somebody, then people will all of a sudden look into your life and you'll get your 15 minutes of fame, even though you'll be locked up for the rest of your life or possibly be put to death. The only solution on this planet to be heard by anyone else on this planet is to murder someone. Our news broadcast, our news people are absolutely being irresponsible with the power that we have given them, especially when there are so many different stories in our communities that deserve so much more attention. Am I saying that when a child goes missing that the news should not report it? No, that's not what I'm saying to all of you extremists who will try and take things and blow things out of proportion. But I am saying that you have to put things into proportion. I think I would much rather hear about the child who has put a lot of work into this science project that is going to help make this community a better place than about the child who took a gun and shot somebody down. And not only that, but get day after day after day after day after day after day news on the same subject. Okay? Another thing about the news. You heard it first. Here first. We're watching out for you. All these little bites and all these little slogans that they put out are absolutely unnecessary and absolutely untrue. What's going on with truth in news and truth in broadcasting? How is it hurting you to actually give us facts and honestly give us the facts? New news on this this beef that is going into schools and going into fast food chains. Absolutely terrible, absolutely horrible, definitely something that needs to be covered. But after the third, fourth, fifth day of coverage, you're still saying that this is a new story? It's not a new story. We've heard the story. Still, give us the updates on the story, yes. But don't say that it's a new story or first, you heard here first. That's not going to change us. That's not going to stop us from changing the channel. Stop using this mentality. If you're going to give us the same news and revamped the news and just switch words around, we will change the channel and we will look at something else. It's someone that's giving us a new perspective or actual new news. Don't waste our time giving us the same old story. You have 1/2 an hour a day to get information across to us and you waste a good 15 minutes of it. A good 15 minutes of news that I watch is a waste of my time because you've recapped a story, you're recapping a story, or you're recapping a story. And most of that has to do with murder. Okay? I'm not saying, like I said, murder is a tragedy and murder does need to be reported, but not over-reported. Not over-reported. Not when our community is being led to believe that the only good thing that is happening in our community is murder. And other than that, then it's what the rich and wealthy are doing, and why we should not be watching them, and why we shouldn't be lauding and bowing down to them, and how come their lives are just so much greater than ours and worth so much more than ours. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's a lot of good things, a lot of positive things that are going on in our neighborhoods that need to be reported. And this, oh, murder! Oh, there was someone else killed! There was someone else killed! Oh, no, someone else was killed again! Oh, my God, somebody else was killed! It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. There's absolutely no reason for it. If a person is missing, yes, that person has to be found. I would want to be found. I would want my family to be found. I would want that to be on the news. And yes, if it happened to me, I would want it to be on the news every day, every minute of every day. If it's something that hit close to my home, yes, I would. But the local news is everyone's news. And although this does affect a portion of our society, there are things I would submit that are affecting larger portions of our society that you are not reporting, and that can affect larger portions of our society in a much larger, broader way. Things that are uplifting, things that can make that family that is missing their child, although they are waiting to see something on the news, maybe they don't see something on the news that day, but they're looking at some other report that actually gives them hope about some other part of their life. Because life does go on, and that is what we are here on this planet for. We are here on this planet to get about the business of living, not to get about the business of the dead and dying. So, local news, and even to the extent that, our world news, our national news coverage also, use different tactics to take our minds away from what is important. And it's time for us to stand up and start demanding more responsibility and more accountability from these news services. And to the news broadcasters, you're wondering why your ratings are plummeting? Maybe people are tired of being depressed by your message, by your constant message of death and despair. Maybe that's the reason why your ratings are plummeting. Maybe that's the reason why people are turning you off. Maybe you should try this. Maybe you should try allocating at least 10 minutes to actual things going on in the local community. Actually send your reporters out there to find stories instead of waiting for stories to come into your little mega castle. Send your reporters out into the community, not just to the schools, but to the coffee houses, but to the libraries, and everywhere. To the supermarkets. Send them out to find the stories of what's going on in the world. Send them out into corporate America, into local corporations, into small businesses. Find out what's going on there. Find out something good to report, something positive to report, something uplifting report, instead of your little jokes in between each other and your little jokes, ha 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 ha, and we're supposed to be a little mini comedy show as well as news. No, give us factual information, give us news that we can use, and we will be very happy, and we will give you ratings that you can use so that you can hawk your products. That's all I got to say for this one. Lock out.